Before I start this video off, I want to congratulate the Detroit Lions. Congratulations, Detroit. You blew getting the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft at the expense of beating the Green Bay Packers and winning a very much meaningless game. It's your Super Bowl, I get that, Detroit. Now on to this video here, where I'm going to go over the stats really quickly here for the Packers, and then I'll probably go over some of the Lions stats too, but Aaron Rodgers started off the game completing 14 of 18, 138 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Very good game by Aaron. He did an absolutely fantastic job yet again, showing us why he is the MVP of the NFL and the best quarterback in the NFL. Jordan Love, off to a pretty good start, actually. He wasn't exactly great or anything like that. He didn't make any wow plays. He was able to make some good plays. He was able to help the offense sustain some drives with the backup players. So I'm going to give him a little bit of leeway for that. Going up against Detroit's starters. So J. Love didn't exactly have Davonte Adams, Allen Lazard that Aaron did have, but he did have some pretty good receivers at his disposal. That of Juwan Winfrey, who did fumble in the game, but he did make some pretty decent plays in the game, and that was more of a credit to the Detroit Lions player that made the play force the fumble instead. So there was a pretty good couple drives sustained by the offense with Jordan Love playing at quarterback, and then in the last quarter of the last few series of the fourth quarter, Jordan threw 2 interceptions, and I would have to say that he didn't have a very good game. Because at the end, in crunch time, in the clutch, you gotta be able to do a better job than that. I know the first interception was not completely his fault. The ball was tipped at the line, and then Rodgers wasn't able to corral the ball. It bounced, and it landed in the hands of the Detroit Lions DB. So that one's not entirely his fault. The second one, I don't know where that throw was going to. But that is how we lost the game, was an offensive turnover. And turnovers lose games, and that's why we didn't deserve to win this game, was based off the turnovers and other factors, which I'm going to go into in a little bit. But so Jordan Love wound up on the end of the day with 10 completions for off of 17 attempts, 134 yards, 1 touchdown, and the 2 aforementioned picks. The rushing game was very good in this game. Whenever we ran the football, it was effective. A.J. Dillon getting 14 carries for 63 yards. Patrick Taylor, the undrafted wonder, 11 carries for 53 yards and a score. And then for the receiving, it was Allen Lazard making the way here with 5 catches, 75 yards and 2 scores, both of them thrown by Aaron. Josiah DeGuara getting 3 catches for 66 yards and a score, all that coming off the big chunk plays that was a catch and run where Jordan gave him the ball on a tight end screen, and then he took it the distance, and that's what put the Packers back up on top. And Davonte Adams, congratulations to Davonte Adams, who surpassed Jordy Nelson in the season season leading receiving yards. So congratulations to Davonte on accomplishing that milestone in his illustrious career. Dominic Dafney getting a little bit of action too, mostly as a blocker, but he did get 1 catch for 26, as you can see here. Equanimeous St. Brown, a little quiet. The elder St. Brown, getting 2 catches for 22 yards. Juwan Winfrey getting 3 catches for 16. And then Rodgers, really quiet, 1 catch for 5. A.J. Dillon getting a catch and a couple by Patrick Taylor. Otherwise, it was a pretty productive offensive performance by the Packers. Here's the fumbles, the one that was the Juwan Winfrey fumble. The defense, oh my gosh. Oh man, I don't know where to start. If I was feeling better, I'd be pretty mad about how the defense performed. But I'm just, the first couple series was actually pretty good. They did force Detroit on some 3-and-outs. And those were some of the good things to take away from the defense. Dean Lowry getting a sack. That was good too. He also made a couple tackles for loss. So I think Dean, that's another good thing, is that Dean has been coming on lately, and Dean is going to be able to help this interior defensive front come playoff time. Because whenever you're going to take down another team's quarterback, you're going to need to get inside pressure. And that is where it's going to be detrimental for the Packers to be able to get some pass rush coming from the interior guys. Dean Lowry, Kenny Clark, Tyler Lancaster, Kingsley Keke once he's back from his illness. Those guys are going to need to step it up. The outside pass rushers, of course, they need to step up. Outside pass rush helps too, but interior pressure counts pretty heavily when you want to be able to stop a high-octane offense. Like the Dallases, the Tampa Bays, and Arizona's offense can be pretty high-octane. It's just missing DeAndre Hopkins. So, I digress. Now back to the defense's overall performance. There was some players that made some good plays, like Dean did. Chris Barnes, he made a couple nice plays in the game too. Basically being the leading tackler because Devondre Campbell was out with an injury, an elbow injury, and I think it was better to rest him anyway. He is going to be needed badly for the playoffs, and I think that this defense really runs around Devondre Campbell. He's really truly the MVP of this defense. To say the least, it was an inconsistent day for the pass rush. There was some interior rush coming, mostly from Dean, mostly from Kenny when he was in there. The outside pass rush, inconsistent. There was some moments where there was some pressure on Jared Goff, and that did help the defense in that regard. No sacks coming from Preston or Rashawn. A little disappointing, but I was kind of expecting a rotation to be worked with him and them, Jonathan Tipa. And then now I'm just going to go to the kicking game. Mason Crosby missing an extra point did hurt, but ultimately it wasn't really that bad. But it would have been nice to have had that extra point. And Mason, get it together, man. We need you come playoff time. So shake some rust off. Let's get you back right for the playoffs, because we can't have points left off the board. The defense was pretty much, it was good against the run. I thought the Packers did a pretty good job stopping the run game. Jamal Williams, former Green Bay Packer, 43 yards for 13 carries. He was their leading running back here. He did pretty well, I guess. But for the most part, the Packers did a pretty decent job stopping the run in today's contest, allowing just 99 yards, which is pretty decent. And the pass defense giving up 238 yards to Jared Goff and 2 touchdown passes, and then that 1 touchdown by Tom Kennedy, a wide receiver. I'm going to get to Detroit's game plan in just a second, but the pass defense was definitely something to be desired. I saw soft coverage all game long. There was some press coverage, some press man coverage, where there was some aggression, but I think the Packers' game plan for defensively was to probably come out of this game relatively injury-free on the defensive side of the ball, because defense really, really matters a lot when it comes to playoff games. Of course, offense wins games, but defense wins championships, as the saying is said. But, just a poor job by the defense. The execution was bad. The entire middle of the field was wide open for Detroit all the game long. Whether it was the younger St. Brown Amon-Ra, getting open on some, getting open over the middle of the field, which on shallow crossers and deep crossers, you name it. He was torturing this Packer defense all game long in the secondary. We need to do a better job in the secondary in order to be able to come away with victories in the playoffs. So I can't say that I'm very encouraged by today's defensive performance. But once it comes time for the playoffs at Lambeau Field in frigid conditions, maybe we might see something different. So I'm a little bit discouraged, but I'm not off the Green Bay Packers defense and what they can do. Now to the Detroit Lions offense. They threw something at us, and we didn't see what was coming to. They went with all kinds of trick plays, an assortment of trick plays that wound up going for touchdowns, in which the receiver they would just let him go. And I got to give some credit to Dan Campbell. He did a very good job. With getting some good game plans in today's game, throwing this defense off, and it worked to perfection for today for Detroit. They were playing like it was their Super Bowl, and they did it, and I got to give Dan and the Lions some credit for battling like they have all year long, even though they have a 13-3-1 record, but they are better than their record, and safe to say that the Lions are certainly not the worst team in the league. That belongs to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just fired their head coach earlier in the season, and to say the least, the Lions, they are never tough to beat, or they're never really easy to beat. They are tough, and they play the Packers tough. So I knew it was going to be a tough contest. Whether if we're going to play the starters the whole entire game, or just half the game, or just for the first quarter, the Lions were going to be the Lions. They were going to give us a fight. I thought we were going to come away with a win, a close victory, but I didn't expect what we saw in today's game with the Lions playing those incredibly interesting plays on offense and what we didn't do on defense. That's what made the difference, and the turnovers at the end certainly didn't help things either, and turnovers usually lose games, and since the Packers have been able to win these games by not turning the ball over and forcing turnovers, that's something the Packers need to work on come playoff time again, is start forcing turnovers again, because turnovers usually tell the game, and that was the name of the game today, was trickery. But I'm kind of glad that the starters were able to play a little bit and welcomed back David Bakhtiari to the lineup, our franchise left tackle. So welcome back, Dave, and let's go strong, and let's put this game away, but let's learn some things from this game. Otherwise, let's take what we can to end the regular season and then go into the playoffs with our foot on the gas and no break. And with that, I am going to catch you guys later. Go Pack, go.